So for the last few days, I'm using this as my only phone and I have taken it everywhere I went into my city, which is New Delhi. And I'm not going to go through all the specs and technical details. All I want to show is how the camera on this phone performs and what you can expect from it. By the way, just to make this video more valuable, I have uploaded all the images and videos into a shared Google Drive folder so you can download them and see everything in 100% detail. I hope you will find this bit very useful and share this video with the friends who are looking for the camera sample of this phone. I'll be sharing my concluding thoughts for the camera in my upcoming review video. This video is all about my impressions for this camera and what I feel for the images that this phone can take. Now let's get started. First, I want to show all the weird things that this phone camera can do while taking photos with it. When you will switch to wide angle camera, there is a huge color shift towards magenta, especially in those colors which are more skin tone like. Although these are two different cameras on the same phone, they have totally different color signs when switching between two different focal lengths. I did not notice any color shifts when switching to the zoom lens, but that is maybe because there is no zoom lens on this phone. They just crop into the main camera sensor and sell these photos to us by calling it a triple camera setup. And I think that the color shift can be easily fixed with a software update. Another thing that you can easily spot is the photos taken with the wide angle camera lacks a lot of detail. Photos are soft and look like they are out of focus. Every single human subject photo I took, it looked like they have done huge amounts of makeup on their face. Even if you completely disable the skin smoothing feature in the settings, still it doesn't do anything. And in any case, you will notice a lot of skin smoothing effect. Trust me, I don't look this much smooth in real life. Now these are the two different photos taken from the same place at the same time, but one was taken with the main camera and one was taken with the portrait mode. This is what camera is doing automatically, and as you can see, the contrast in the portrait mode is way off. This camera has the habit of overexposing photos a lot, especially when you're inside and there is sunlight coming from your side or above or maybe from any other light source. First one is complete automatic mode where the phone is doing everything. Second one is manually exposed by dialing the exposure slider a little down. And the last one is HDR photo, which I think probably displayed the best results out of 3. And when you're actually outside on the street or road or anywhere there is a lot of direct sunlight, this camera really produces spot on correctly exposed photos. And every photo now you're gonna see will be automatically exposed without me doing anything to tweak it. I just use this phone mainly as a point and shoot camera, and that's how most people are gonna use a phone's camera when they get it. The main camera is the one that produces really good images. A lot of dynamic range is there. The images are not too over-sharpened or too oversaturated like some other phones. And there is some post-processing applied to these images. But thanks to that post-processing, I rarely needed to make any edits to the images. And whenever I have posted these images directly on my Instagram stories, I have got surprising replies from the people. And that shows that people are really liking these images. OnePlus has done a great job that there is just enough post-processing done to the images, so you don't have to do anything to it. And that's the best thing about this phone. Colors really pop out, they are true to life, especially on the main sensor, and white balance was always precise. Sometimes HDR mode does too much post-processing and photos can look very fake. But when the HDR magic happens, you do notice some extra dynamic range from this phone's camera. Now let's talk about videos, especially the videos shot with the front-facing camera. This is the best representation I can give you that how audio quality is on this phone. And as you can see, then the front-facing camera is cropping a lot on the video. And this is not the best choice if you want to vlog with a phone. So I'll let you be the judge that how audio quality and video quality is for you guys. Rest of my thoughts for video is that this camera can shoot really good 4K videos with a lot of detail and doesn't really messes up with the exposure automatically. The focus is really fast and the optical image stabilization has done amazing job in keeping things very stable. Behind the scenes of this video, my hands were shaking a lot while walking and this camera did a great job in hiding all those hand movements. Sometimes that is all you want from a video, smooth and distraction free. When there is some drop in lighting conditions, this phone will eventually capture video with a lot of noise and all the detail that you saw in daylight video will get downright zero. The video will turn out to be very soft and will look like a 720p video instead of 4K one. When I shot slow motion videos with this phone, I wish there was 120p mode because when shooting 240p in 1080 mode, you lose a lot of detail because of high data rate that a camera has to record quickly. But if there was 120p mode, then there would have been almost double the amount of detail than 240p mode. I would any day choose a detailed 120p mode over a potato 240p mode. It's not that bad, I guess. All in all, if you want really great results from this phone, you need to give it a lot of light to this camera sensor, especially for the video work. But what happens when you're not in good light? Well, a lot of noise reduction is happening to make photos look less crappy. The noise level during the low light photography is well contained, and this camera is trying really hard to preserve all the detail. This is no way a bad low light camera, but you have to remember that this camera already applies a lot of smoothing effect when in daylight. And this smoothing effect is much more apparent when you use night sight on this phone. This image is exactly what my eyes were seeing, but when capturing with night sight, this camera will make it look like a watercolor painting, and it's nowhere near good as Google's own night sight. I will discuss my final opinion about this camera in my detailed review, which will be out soon. And in that video, I'll tell you guys what other smartphone cameras have better results in the same price, and also which one will be perfect for you. This video was all about my impressions on photos and video that I took with this phone. And don't forget to download all these images to see everything in detail. Link is given in the description down below. But before doing that, do consider sharing this video and hitting the like button, and maybe subscribe if you haven't. Until then, take care of those pixels.